He's a very, very accomplished musician. And I was trying to accomplished musician tonight because one of the reasons we have the program tonight is that we are having a request program. And as you know, as we said yesterday, Pandit Neil has wholeheartedly put his support behind us to build this new mandir. And with that, he have in that little laptop of his, there are thousands of bhajans and songs waiting for your request. So anybody who would like to request a bhajan, you just text by Dwarika Ji. I'll just give you his number shortly here. 519-240-0870, or you can text myself if you're not getting through with him at 519-222-7314. So just text your bhajans while he is doing his kathaa tonight. He will take your requests and fit them in as they come. So please do that for our online viewers. You could also do the same. He will do his best to fulfill your expectation. As you see tonight, we don't only have Pandit Neil, but we have very, very accomplished musicians. We have on the keyboard Uncle Harold, who have made his way all the way from Milton here. As you know, Uncle Harold is a very, very busy guy, but he have made time for us here this afternoon. We also have Uncle Subhash here and Sachin Ruplal here on Dholak and Tabla. Please give them a big round of applause. So with that, I won't take up any more of the time. I will just pass it over back to Pandit Neil. Again, please send your requests our way. Okay, thank you.
प्रेम से बोलो राजा रामचंद्र की जय। Thank you, Bhairaj Ji. Let us all sit upright for a few minutes, devotees. And just as we did last night, take a deep breath. And as you breathe in, we say so. This is yoga. And as you breathe out, we say hum. What does so hum mean? With every single breath that we take, it means that I and my Father are one. Gently close your eyes now. Or like Lord Shiva does when he meditates, barely opening and looking at the tip of the nostril, the nose. As you cleanse your minds, so hum. I want you to relax, you drop your shoulders. Let all the pressures, all the tensions, anything that is pressing in your minds, in your hearts, maybe a difficult day, just release it. As you intake that fresh air, so hum, release the negativities. Focus your thoughts, your mind tonight on any form of Bhagwan that is on the altar, anyone, any form that appeals to you. We'll chant Omkar 3 times and then we go into Jaikars. Harold Bhaiya, you can accompany. Feel free on D major, please. Chant. Keep meditating, devotees. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. We go to the feet of Bhagwan Shri Ganesha. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatye Namaha, Shri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namo Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo गुरुर साक्षात परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. The Divine Mother of this entire universe, Jagadambe Bhavani Shankar Ma. Devotees, I want you to feel the energy as we call upon her presence tonight. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. We go now to the feet of Mount Kailash, looking up above is seated Lord Shiva, with Ganga Mata flowing from his hair, Mother Parvati, his consort, to his side. We call upon Shambhu now. Jai Bholenath. Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Samsar Saram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarvinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. To the feet of the storehouse of energy, Pavanaputra Hanumanji, Mahavir Swami. Atulit Baldhamam Hema Shailabadeham Danujamana Krishanum Jnaninamakkaranyam Sakal Guna Nidhanam Vanaranavadhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vajjatam Namami. To the beautiful gardens of Vrindavan, where Vasudevala Mohan Muraliya Ghanshyam plays his Vasudi and dances with the gopis of Radharani. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanur Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharat abhyuthanamasya dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sanskharpanadhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Prem se bolo Bhakti Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Devotees, let us now go into 1 minute of silence. In this minute of silence, I want your thoughts, ask you humbly tonight, refocus your thoughts on that of Bhagwan. Tonight, we also offer this minute of silence, moment of silence, for all of our ancestors and those loved ones who have left us and gone to the beyond. 1 minute of silence, please. Praise the Bhagavati Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. A beautiful reminder that once we were all children. That's so lovely indeed. God bless you, Betty. Goswami Tulsidas Ji tells us, in the very first shloka of Shri Ramcharitamanas, this beautiful prayer called Mangalashtakam. A prayer to Mother Vani, the goddess of speech, Mother Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge and music, and of course, Ganapati Bhagwan, Prathama Pujye. Shri Ramcharitamanas, Balkand, shloka number 1, chapter number 1, Mangalashtakam. Varnanam artha sanghanam rasanam chandasam api mangalanam cha kartaro vande vani vinayako Bhavani Shankaro Vande Shraddha Vishwas Rupino Yabhyam Vinana Pashanti Siddhaha Swantastam Ishwaram Vande Bodhamayam Nityam Guru Shankar Rupino Yama Shritohi Vakraopi Chandraha Sarvat Vandate Sitaram Gunagram Punya Aranya Vrivarino Vande Vishuddha Vigyano Kavishwar Kapishwara Prem se bol Bhagwan Ramachandra ki Jai. Devotees, tonight we go now before the feet of Bhagwan Shri Ganesha, Prathama Pujye. The remove of all obstacles, Siddhi Vinayaka, Viganeshwara, Gajanan, so many beautiful names. The darling son of Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva. Salutations to you, O Ganapati, the bhajan tells us tonight. O protector of the world, your form is indeed a source of tremendous happiness. You are depicted with 4 arms, and your excellent form shines a red, beautiful tilak. By riding that moshak, that mouse, you have accomplished the inconceivable, thereby teaching your devotees that nothing is impossible. Devotees, we covered this last night. When we submit to Bhagwan unconditionally, anything is possible. Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashi Varnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vigano Upashantaye Agjanan Paramarkam Gajananam Arnisham Anekdantam Bhaktanam Ekdantam Upasmahe Ekdantam Upasmahe Jai Ganapati Vandan Gananayak Jai Ganapati Vandan Gananayak say Jai Ganapati Vandan Gananayak Jai Ganapati Vandan Gananayak Teri chhavi ati sundar sukhdayak Teri chhavi ati sundar sukhdayak Jai Ganapati Vandan Gananayak Jai Ganapati Vandan Gananayak चार भुजाधारी मस्तक सिंदूरी रूप निराला है मूषक वाहन तेरो तू ही जग का रखवाला तेरी सुंदर मूरत मन में तेरी सुंदर मूरत मन में, तू पालक सिद्धि विनायक, जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक, जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक। मंदिर का धियारा तेरे नाम से हो जियारा, तेरे नाम की जोत जली तो मन में भक्ति सुख धारा, तेरे सुमिरन हर पूजन में, तेरे सुमिरन हर पूजन में, सबसे पहले फलदायक, जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक, जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक। तेरे नाम को जिसने ध्याया, उस पर रहती सुख छाया, मेरे रोम रोम अंतर में एक तेरा रूप समाया, तेरी महिमा तू ही जाने, तेरी महिमा तू ही जाने, शिव पार्वती के बालक, जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक, जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक। तेरी छवि अति सुंदर सुखदायक, तेरी छवि अति सुंदर सुखदायक, जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक, जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक, जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक। प्रेम से बोलो गजानन स्वामी की जय। So last night we acknowledged the fact that here at Radha Krishna Mandir everyone claps and everyone sings, and I like to use this analogy that was given to me by Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba, one of his teachings. He says, musical instruments, keyboards, harmoniums, dholaks, tablas, etc., they're very expensive. But Bhagwan has given each and every single one of us, in most cases, 2 instruments that are absolutely free of charge. You know what they are? These. Right? And they work like this. And you see, an aja, after satsang one day down in Florida, every time I would chant Jaikar, praise the Lord, Rama Chandra ki jai, he would just keep happening like this. So I thought I was doing something wrong, So after the satsang, I went to Aja, Ajaji, was everything okay? He said, yes, Pandit, okay, no problem. So why were you clapping like this all the time? He says, I'll teach you something to my son. He held on to my shoulders. He said, you see when you clap like this, you're removing all of the negative energy that exists around you. That's physics, by the way, if you study carefully. That sound that you make by clapping, and also what we call static, you're removing all the negative energies from around you. So you see, the more you clap and the more you sing, you only bring in positive energy. And what else do we need in life? Only positivity. Prem se bolo Raja Rama Chandra ki jai. Now from the feet of Bhagwan Shri Ganesha, we move to the feet of the Guru. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Par Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Wherever your gurus are, some of us have many gurus. Uncle Ji and I were speaking in car coming just now. So many gurus in our lives. Anyone who teaches us something, devotees, is considered a guru. Our first teacher, our first love, our first doctor, of course, mother. Tonight, wherever your parents are, they have gone to the beyond, I want you to subliminally bow to their feet and seek their blessings. Because as our scriptures, all of our scriptures teaches us, the dust from the feet of the Guru, especially your parents, when you are blessed by your parents, our ancestors, those blessings They will carry you on for the rest of your lives. Devotees tonight, O mind, adhere to the feet of the Guru by singing the glory and taking the refuge under the Guru's feet, which will enable us to cross this ocean of unconquerable desires, that ocean we spoke of last night. The bhajan goes like this. Manas bhajore Guru Charanam Dostar bhav sagar taranam. Oh, Manas, beautiful. Guru Charanam Dostar bhav sagar taranam. Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai. Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai. Satya Sai Nath Sadguru Jai Jai. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namaha. Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva, Aruna Shivo. Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva, Aruna Shivo. Omkaram Baba, Omkaram Baba, Omkaram Baba, Om Namo Baba, Omkaram Baba, Omkaram Baba, Omkaram Baba. Oh, clap your hands, devotees, come on, hello. Manas bhajore Guru Charanam Dostar bhav sagar. Haribol. Manas bhajore Guru Charanam Dostar bhav sagar karanam. Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai. Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai. Satya Sai Nath Sadguru Jai Jai. Satya Sai Nath Sadguru Jai Jai. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namaha. Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva, Aruna Shiva. Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva, Aruna Shiva. Omkaram Baba, Omkaram Baba, Omkaram Baba, Om Namo Baba. Omkaram Baba, Omkaram Baba, Omkaram Baba, Om Namo Baba. Manas bhajore Guru Charanam Dostar bhav sagar taranam. Prem se bolo Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai. My dear brothers and sisters, tonight it's a very special night here at Radha Krishna Mandir. We are in fundraising mode because we are building a temple. And I invite all of you, if you haven't done so yet, please drive by the site. We did this yesterday and I'm totally impressed. I got chills when I saw what was happening. You know, we are doing something very special as Raj explained to us. We are in fundraising mode. So we have a couple of bhajans that were sponsored. I'll do my very best to sing those bhajans with the musical accompaniment that we have. But we also have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it's called Shankar. You might have seen these flyers already. with a donation of $108, you can write your family's name, or more, you can write your family's names on a special piece of paper which will be placed into one of those chunks, and it will be placed into the earth, the Harsi Mata, just below the altar of the new Mandir site. For more information on how to accomplish this, please, you can see Uncle Ji, Uncle Dwarika over there. And if you'd like to sponsor bhajan also, you can see Uncle Dwarika, Hairaj is here as well, and we'll coordinate and try to do as many of these as we can. We start a little bit early to allow the kids to have an opportunity to sing and to contribute to this evening's celebration. Both of you come here. Today, or this evening being Shanivar or Saturday, we worship, of course, the powerhouse, the storehouse of energy, Mahavir Swami, Pavanaputra Hanumanji. Goswami Tulsidas Ji gave us this beautiful composition of 40 verses called Shri Hanuman Chalisa. And there are many stories written of how and when was this Chalisa composed. One of them was given to me by my Guruji, and he says, when the Mughals invaded India, Goswami Tulsidas Ji was walking around the streets at the time of the city of Delhi, and he was chanting Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And the soldiers of this Mughal army, they heard the chanting of the name Rama, and they went back and reported, "O king, we have this fellow who's walking around half naked outside. He doesn't wear a dhoti, of course, and his mala. And he's chanting this name Rama." So the king summoned and said, "Bring him here, bring him to my court." And they brought Goswami Tulsidas Ji into his court. And devotees, what happened next? The king asked Goswami Tulsidas, he says, "Man, sir, if your God is greater than mine, then make him appear right now." Goswami Tulsidas, he said, "Jai Shri Ram. I can't do that, but I know my God is great. His name is Ram." And what did they do? They placed him in the dungeons, in chains, behind iron bars, devotees. And there he started to compose. Sri Guru Charana Saroj Raja, and the rest was history. By the time he was finished with the 40 verses of Shri Hanuman Chalisa, Vanas, celestial beings, monkeys, invaded that city, broke the locks on that door, and freed Goswami Tulsidas Ji. Then that Mughal king bowed and said, "Your God is truly greater than mine." Prem se bol Bhagwan Ramachandra ki Jai. Shri Guru Charana Saroj Raja, Nij Man Mukuru Sudhari, Parno Raghuvar Vimal Jasu, Jodayaku Phalchari, Buddhihin Tanu Janike, Sumiro Pavan Kumar, Bal Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi, Arahu Kales Vikar. I ask all of you to sing to the top of your voices and feel the energy now, the infusion of energy. O aise hamre Ram bhakt hitkari, aise hamre Ram bhakt hitkari, aise hamre Ram bhakt hitkari, aise hamre Ram bhakt hitkari. O Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar, Jai Kapis Tibulok Ujagar, Ram Dute Purit Balrama, Anjani Putra Pavan Sut Nama, Mahavir Vikram Bajrangi, Kumat Nivar Sumat Ke Sangi, Kanchana Varna Viraj Savesa, Anana Kundal Kunchit Kesa, Aat Vajra aur Dhwaja Viraje, Kande Moonj Janeo, aise hamre Ram bhakt hitkari, aise hamre Ram bhakt hitkari, o aise hamre Ram bhakt hitkari, aise hamre Ram bhakt hitkari, o केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन, विद्यावान गुणीय चातुर, राम काज करिबै को आतुर, प्रभु चरित सुनिबै को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया, सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा, भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ओ ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, लाए संजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए, रघुपति की बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई, सहस बदन तुमरो यश गावे, हस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद शारद सहित ईसा, जब कुबेर दिग्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सकहि बो, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ओ ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा, राम मिलाए राजपद दीन्हा, तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना, युग सहस्त्र योजन पर भानु, लील उठाई मधुर कल जानु, प्रभु मुद्रिका मिलि मुख माहि, जल गिराहि गए अचरज नाहि, दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुखमय अनुग्रह तुम्हारे हो, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ओ ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, राम द्वारे तुम रखवारे, होठ न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे, सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना, आपन तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकटे कापे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ओ ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम, संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, इनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम, प्रेम से बोलो, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ओ ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ओ अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुमरे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दास, तुमरे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई, और देवता चिंतना धरई, हनुमत से भी सर्व सुजय श्री राम, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ओ ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ओ संकट कट मिटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटे बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय माहो। ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी। ओ ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी। पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। प्रेम सबल पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। बजरंग बली महावीर स्वामी. Did you feel the energy? Absolutely. You know, when we come together like this in satsang, as we mentioned last night, to chant and to sing the name of Bhagavan, togetherness, oneness. My dear mothers, fathers, gurus, Reverend Panditas and Panditji, namaskar. Always a pleasure to be in your company. Members of the board of directors, Gurdwaraka and family. Members of this Kirtan group, I want you to give all the children at this mandir a lovely round of applause. I'm so impressed by your talents, by your beautiful voices, and your commitment to Sanatan Dharma. When I see you all seated, clapping, singing, playing music, I know that Dharma is alive and Dharma will be here. Dharma is well. We're in good hands. Devotees, and those of you joining us online, we have several people from all over the world joining us, devotees, this evening via the World Wide Web. Welcome, Swagatam, to this our second session of this Ramayan Yagya, 3-session Ramayan Yagya. Of course, tomorrow we conclude, tomorrow morning 10 to 12 at the Radha Krishna Mandir. A special welcome to all the devotees who came from Ajax, Pickering, Scarborough, and all of you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. A quick recap of last night's kathaa. And by the way, Bhairaj, the system is like night and day. Thank you. Thank you for your hard work. I know you took a lot of time off your day today to fix this, and it's beautiful. Thank you. You know, last night we spoke about the physical building of the bridge to Lanka by Neelanand. Bhaiji, play along in the background. It'll be beautiful. Thank you. When we have your talent, when we have man with your talents, we must take advantage. In a good way. The bridge that was being built by the engineers, Neel and Nal, and Shri Hanumanji and all of the rest of the Vanas that went across the ocean, paving the way in preparation for the Lord's journey, Lord Rama's journey. Likened to the bridge we build in life across the ocean of mundane existence as we hold steadfastly to the name of Shri Ram, Ram Nam. Despite the challenges or waves of the ocean, which may surface, and they will, perhaps synonymous with the commitment and the mission of this team of Shri Radha Krishna Mandir, to build this beautiful, beautiful establishment of this mandir. With the same values epitomized by the Vanas, devotees, dedication, perseverance, courage, humility, faith, unity, pure, unconditional love for Bhagwan, something that is very difficult to find in this day and age. And for the undeniable presence of Bhagwan in every single being who may enter the walls of this mandir and our new mandir. As a place for refuge and as a place of community celebration with the divinity tonight. Once again, we picture ourselves taking this journey along with Bhagwan. Bhagwan is leading the way. And Shri Ram's lotus feet gently stepping ever so gently in front of us. On each of those rocks where we left off last night, echoes the name Ram, Jai Shri Ram. You know, I'm reminded of this account as told by Bhagwan Shri Sachi Sai Baba of a mountain or a hill that was being used, or all the mountains, that, you know, in its magnificence, in the name of Shri Ram. A mountain and hill which links the magnificence of Shri Ram to the seventh incarnation of Bhagwan Shri Vishnu during Treta Yuga, to Bhagwan Shri Krishna, the eighth incarnation of Bhagwan Shri Vishnu during Dwapar Yuga. The bridge towards Lanka was being built over the straits so that Rama and his army could march across to the realm of the king or the kingdom of Ravan, where Mother Sita was interned. The valiant monkeys, they were picking up mountains, devotees, not just rocks as we described last night, mountains. And leaping vast distances in space with those mountains. As you see, Hanumanji was flying with a mountain. That mountain had a different purpose, I'll explain. With peaks, mountains hoisted on their shoulders and they're flying across. They were huge. So that they could be offered or thrown or given to Nila Nal to inscribe the name Rama, put into the sea and to create that bridge. The monkeys or the Vanas had formed a queue, a line now, all the way from the Himalayas in the north of India. And India is a massive country, all the way from the north of India down south to Cape Comorin. There was a line, like when construction is taking place, you have a line of trucks. Similarly, all the Vanas now, they had big mountains on their necks, on their shoulders, And the bridge was vastly coming to an end now, almost completed. And when the causeway was completed, word went out very fast to everyone in the queue that no more materials were required. In other words, no more mountains were required or hills. And what happened? Every one of the Vanas now had to place whatever they were carrying right on that spot. Devotees, one of those hills, however, it did not sit quietly. It started wailing its fate. It said, "Why was I removed from where I was? And why am I now being refused?" The mountain is saying this. "Alas, I was elated that I was destined to serve a divine purpose." Who wouldn't want Lord Rama's feet to touch them? This is what the mountain is crying out, devotees. It says, "I was overjoyed by the armies of Rama, and Rama himself will walk upon me. Now I am neither there nor here." And the mountain began to cry. News had reached Lord Rama, devotees. And we spoke of the name of Rama last night. The ocean of compassion, the ocean of happiness, the ocean of bliss. And he sent word now back to that mountain. Here's what he said. In his next avatar, who was his next avatar? Bhagwan Shri Krishna. He says, in my next avatar, when he will come again upon his mission in human form, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkitam, dharma samstharpanathaya sambhavami yuge yuge, he will certainly bless that soaring hill. Devotees, what was the name of that mountain? Govardhan. You see, today, if you visit Govardhan, did you go to Govardhan as well? If you visit Govardhan in India, it's almost flat. But what people do, what missionaries or people who go on yatras, they walk, it takes an entire day. They walk around the circumference of where that mountain would sit in the village of Govardhan. Devotees, this was the Govardhan peak that Lord Krishna lifted on his finger, the same peak, and held aloft for 7 full days in order to save the cowherds of Gokula from the deluge of rain and the thunderstorms that Lord Indra drained or dared to inflict upon them. How many of you remember performing Govardhan Puja, maybe back home in Trinidad or Guyana or Suriname? Yes? And the cowherd community, they have taken shelter of me. It's my family. Therefore I will protect them with my mystic powers. And the Bhagavad Gita we chant tonight, chapter 9, verse 23, Bhagwan Shri Krishna Vachan. Prem se bulwa Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Radhe Radhe Ananyas Chintyanto Mam Ye Janaha Pariupasate Tesham Nityabhyuktanam Yogekshemam Vamyaham Prem se bulwa Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. It says, there are those who always think of me and engage in exclusive devotion to me, to them, whose minds are always absorbed in me. I provide what they lack and preserve what they already possess. I repeat, I will provide what they lack and preserve what they already possess. Devotees, we glorify Bhakti-Vrindavan Bihari Lal with this beautiful chant now. Jai Hare Krishna, Govardhan Giridhari. I want you to ask all of you tonight, clap your hands and sing loud. Let Bhakti-Vrindavan, let him hear us tonight. Hear Radha Krishna Mandir. Prem se bolo Bhakti-Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Jai Hare Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Govardhan Giridhar. Praise the Lord. Jai Hare Krishna. Let me hear you. Jai Hare Krishna, Govardhan Giridhari. Radha Mohan Radha Jeevan, Radha Mohan Radha Jeevan, Mangal Kunj Bihari. Mangal Kunj Bihari. I say, Jai Hare Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Govardhan Giridhari. Radha Mohan Radha Jeevan, Radha Mohan Radha Jeevan, Mangal Kunj Bihari. Oh, Mangal Kunj Bihari. Jai Hare Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Govardhan Giridhari. I say, Jai Hare Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Govardhan Giridhari. Radha Mohan Radha Jeevan, Radha Mohan Radha Jeevan, Mangal Kunj Bihari. Bolo Mangal Kunj Bihari. Oh, bolo Mangal Kunj Bihari. Prem se Baba ke Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Radhe Radhe. B major. This next bhajan tonight, we are in kathaa, but we must cover these as well. This bhajan was sponsored by Indro De Nobrega, I hope I pronounced the name correctly, and it's dedicated to Ray De Nobrega and a husband and best friend. If you are here, this bhajan dedicated to you. It says, an appropriate bhajan, it says, their love and affection for him is beyond bounds, like one Shri Krishna we speak about. He has earned himself with all of the community, a friend to the young and the beautiful member of the family, the flute charmer, boy blue, and the splendor of the cowherds. Today he leaves Samathura, breaking the hearts of all. Uncontrollably they weep. The whole of Yamuna and Madhuban, tears begin to flow copiously, for his separation they cannot bear. Join with me, devotees. Maiya ki mamta taje, taj baba ka pyar, ग्वाल बाल की मित्रता, गोपियन की मनहार, तज के सब परिवार को तज मुरली की तान, अपनों से मुख मोर के मथुरा चले रे सुना सुना लागे धीरज का धाम, गोकुल को छोड़ चले रे घनश्याम। सुना सुना लागे धीरज का धाम, गोकुल को छोड़ चले रे घनश्याम। जमुना रोए मधुबन रोए, रोए कदम की छैया, ओ रोए कदम की छैया। भर भर नैना रोए रे गवाले, भर भर नैना रोए रे गवाले। सुधा ओ राह रोक कर रोए मनु सुधा बिछड़ रहे थोड़े शाम रे सुना सुना लागे रज कान्हा गोकुल को छोड़ चले रे घनश्याम बोल सके ना घर के पंछी असुवन से भर लेना असुवन से भर लेना आजा कान्हा ना जा कान्हा ना जा कान्हा ना जा कान्हा आजा कान्हा ना जा कान्हा तूने भूखे रे पिंजरे की मैना नदिया रोए गिरवर रोए नदिया रोए गिरवर रोए लेखाना गाना रे सुना सुना लागे रज कान्हा गोकुल को छोड़ चले रे घनश्याम सुना सुना लागे रज कान्हा गोकुल को छोड़ चले रे घनश्याम प्रेम दीवानी राधा रानी भर नैनन में पानी ओ प्रेम दीवानी राधा रानी हर नैनन में पानी शुभ किस्मत कहे हाय कान्हा हाय कान्हा हाय कान्हा शुभ किस्मत कहे हाय कान्हा तूने फिर हाजी तीर न जानी कैसे कटेगी तुम बिन साथी कैसे कटेगी तुम बिन साथी जीवन की अब शाम रे सुना सुना लागे रज कान्हा गोकुल को छोड़ चले रे घनश्याम सुना सुना लागे रज कान्हा गोकुल को छोड़ चले रे घनश्याम प्रेम से बोलवा की वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय and again to Indro de Nobrega and of course Ray Nobrega and family we say thank you very much for that beautiful dedication. I do believe we have a couple more dedications. I will try to do my best to get them in this evening. Now that we have clapped, we have sung and infused this positive energy, certainly felt by the presence now of Bhagwan within our satsang tonight. Let us turn to the page of Shri Ramcharitamanus. Kavi Samrat Sahibji Chakravarti Goswami Tulsidas Ji, as we sing tonight Ramayan Sumiran. Jo Sumirat Siddhiho, beautiful prayer, glorifying Lord Ganesha, Mother Saraswati, and of course the sage Valmiki, original author of Ramayan. Let us sing. Jo Sumirat Siddho Gananayak Karivara Padhana Jo Sumirat Siddho Gananayak Karivara Subhago न सजना मूक होई बाचा अंगु चढ़े गिरिवन कहना जासु कृपा सुदया प्रभु सकल कलिमाल दहना नील स्वरूप रोषान करुणाय रुण वाणी जनयना कारहु सुमा पूरधा सदा क्षीर सागर सयना उन्नइंदु समदे कुमारमण करुणायना जाहि दीन पारे करहु कृपा मरदन मयना वंदौ गुरु पद कृपा सिंधु नर रूप हरि महामोह तम जासु वचन रवि कर निकड़ा जो सुमिरत सिद्ध हो गणनायक करीवार पधरा। प्रेम से बोलो भगवान रामचंद्र की जय। Ramayan Vandana was taken from Bhagavad Mahapurana. Dheyam sada paribhavagnamabhishtadoham tirthaspadam silviran janutam smaranyam Bhrityatiham pranatapal bhavami putam वंदे महापुरुषते चरणारविंदम नीलांभुजं श्यामल कोमलांगं सीता समारो पितुभाम भायं पाणो महासायक चारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंश सनातन। रामायण कथा किष्किंधा कांड मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम भगवान रामचंद्र जी और हनुमान जी का संवाद। Devotees, tonight katha is taken from Ramayan Kiskindha Kand, where the meeting of Hanumanji and Prabhu Shri Ram for the very first time, opening Doha.
Jai Rama Jai
फल सीमा तहारा सजीवन से तस्वीमा श्री राम जय जय रामा श्री राम जय रामा जय जय रामा श्री राम जय रामा प्रेम से बोलो भगवान रामचंद्र की जय devotees. Tomorrow morning, if you would join us, it will be beautiful. We'll speak a little bit more about Ma Shabri. But as we would remember from kathaa, when Lord Rama visited the hermitage of the late Matanga Rishi, where Shabri Ma was staying, she was hunchback, but meticulously serving the Lord. That one day her Guru told her this, that one day the Lord will pay you a visit. And every morning she would wake up, she would take a bath. She barely had new clothing. She would wear an old torah sari that she would clean the cow pen with. It was dirty. It didn't matter, because she knew her heart was pure, as we spoke of last night. She had unconditional love for Bhagwan. And as she placed the marigold flowers so that his soft feet, his tender feet, would not hit the ground, she wanted him to walk on a carpet made of marigold flowers. And she would sing every morning, O Palanhare, Nirgun aur nyare, Tumhare binu hamara kaun nahi. Tomorrow morning. That's your incentive to come back. Devotees, the love that Shabri Ma had for Bhagavan. Goswami put Tulsidas, we put pen to paper. But if you were to take all of the sand of the ocean and mix it with all the waters of the ocean, take all the barks of the trees in this world and make pens with them, they would not fathom the amount of love. You could not write the amount of love in writing that Shabri Ma had for Bhagavan. Tonight, we'll experience another such meeting of two individuals. When Lord Rama now, after leaving the hermitage of Matanga Rishi, he asked Mother Shabri, point me in the direction, where would I find Mother Sita? She said, go in that direction, southerly direction, to the Pampa Lake, where the Chaupai tells us, Aage chale bahuri raghuraya, Rishyamukh Parvat. This Parvat is a mountain. Rishyamukh mountains, where Sugriv resides. Devotees, they came upon this hill of silence. This Rishyamukh Parvat is called the hill of silence. Sugriv, he gave instructions now. He was hiding from his brother Bali up in the mountains. So he gave instructions to his chief warrior, Hanumanji. He says, Hanumanji, go down from this mountain and interview these fellows. They're two handsome gentlemen walking towards this way. Go down and interview those fellows and see what they're up to. If they were probably sent by Bali, my evil brother, to kill me, and make a signal if it's yes or no, so that I will run from this mountain, so that I would not be killed. Devotees, Hanumanji now, as you know very well, assumed the form of a holy man. And tonight, let me tell you, the reason why I selected this katha tonight of Hanumanji's first meeting with Shri Ram is for us all here, you all here, to picture the moment when we first felt the presence of God within us. Picture this moment, when you first felt the presence of God within you. And picture too, the moment that you have to look forward to as a community, when you first welcome these beautiful deities into your new mandir. The elation in your heart, the heart's brimming over with joy and divine love, love for Prabhu, and the adoration of Bhagwan, ever present in these stunningly beautiful murtis, aren't they? Hanumanji, devotees, has been depicted in texts as being the embodiment of all virtues. Ashta Siddhi Navanidhike Data Asavaradeen Janaki Mata. Prowess, energy, intelligence, dignity, amiability, sweetness, cleverness, firmness, humility, courageous, and of course, the faithful companion. Prem se bolo Pavana Putra Hanuman ki Jai. Let us glorify him with this beautiful bhajan tonight. मेरे सुन लो मारुति नंदन, काटो मेरे दुख के बंधन। हे महावीर बजरंगी, तुम्हें कहते हैं दुख भंजन। मेरे सुन लो मारुति नंदन, काटो मेरे दुख के बंधन। हे महावीर बजरंगी, तुम्हें कहते हैं दुख भंजन। मुझे पर भी करुणा करना, मैं आया शरण तुम्हारी। मैं जोड़े हाथ खड़ा हूँ, तेरे मन के मैं भिखारी। तुम सबसे बड़े भंडारी, मैं पानी तुम हो चंदन। हे बजरंगी, तुम्हें कहते हैं दुख भंजन। तेरा नाम बड़ा दुनिया में, सब तेरा ही गुण गावे। इस जग से सब नर नारी, चरणों में शीश नवाए। कर भव से पार मुझे भी, हे बाबा संकट मोचन। हे महावीर बजरंगी, तुम्हें कहते Everybody, बोलो, come on. मेरे सुन लो मारुति नंदन, काटो मेरे दुख के बंधन। हे महावीर बजरंगी, तुम्हें कहते हैं दुख बंधन। हे महावीर बजरंगी, तुम्हें कहते हैं दुख बंधन। प्रेम से बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। The devotees of kathaa continues tonight. Goswami Tulsidas Ji writes now in this beautiful chaupai. Let's see what he says. As Hanumanji is making his way down to greet Maryada Purushottam Shri Ramchandra Ji and Lakshman Ji. Rama Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Kotum Shamala Gauri Sharira Kotum Shamala Gauri Sharira Chhatri Rupa Tera Upan Jai Shri Ram. Sing everybody, come on. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama प्रेम से बोलो हरियाणा पुरुषोत्तम भगवान रामचंद्र की जय. Ramayana, Panaji will agree with me. It is Ati Sundaram. It is sweet. Devotees, when we begin to sing Ramayana, and I want to ask you one more time, please put your hands together for all of the musicians here tonight. They're making such a difference. And you especially, Sachinji. You see, this style of Ramayana, I know very well too. I am from a place called Debe in Trinidad. And if you have never been to Debe, now it's called the Bay. It is the home of doubles, alupai and these things. Yes? If you ever go down to Debe, ask about Pandit, Tulsi, my father, they'll tell you. But devotees, this style of singing came from our forefathers. They brought this from India 4 generations ago. I am 4th generation Indian. And the style of dholak that you're playing there, what can I say? Ati Sundara. And when we sit, it enhances our satsang. It enhances our satsang because you feel the energy, the vibration. I'm ready to cry because of the love for Rama and the love for Rama kathaa. And that's the energy, the positivity we speak about. Satsang, Sat Samagam Hari Katha Tulasi Durlabadoi Sutradara or Lakshmi Papi Ke Bihoi. Goswami Tulsirasi tells us the only reason we are in satsang today is because of our past karmas, because of the blessings of our ancestors. This is why as Pandits, when we perform wedding ceremonies especially, Tarpanam has to be given to the ancestors. If the ancestors are happy and satisfied, devotees, life is good, LG. Brothers and sisters, Hanumanji took this disguise of a brahmachari and he went down to the warriors. Now one may ask the question, Hanumanji, Ashtasiddhi Navanidhi Ke Rata, Savaradin Janaki Mata, all of this knowledge he had, the 8 siddhis and the 9 nidhis, the 11 incarnation of Lord Shiva, did he know that Lord Rama was standing in front of him? But you read, this is Ram Leela. This is Ram Leela. He's playing his part out now, devotees, to teach mankind how to live. And Hanumanji teaches us tonight, when we go before Bhagwan, the type of clothing that we wear doesn't matter. It has to be clean, of course. But the most important thing is what? When we go before Bhagwan, what is the most important thing we must go with? Love. Devotees, tonight I want you to look to your right. Tell me if you know the person sitting to your right tonight. Do you know this person? I want you to say to this person, I love you. Now look to the left of you. Do you know this person? Yes. Mataji is there. Tell her, I love you. Great. I love you all. Devotees, what did that just cost you? I love doing this exercise. Absolutely nothing. The next time you walk into an elevator and it's crowded with people, say these words, Namaste, and see, look at the response. Namaste. Don't look at your phone. Don't bury your head in your phone and hide. Namaste. This is Ram Katha. This is how we approach mankind. Because God is right here. I told you, I gave an example last night. People ask me, Baba, you're going to India, take me and I want to go closer to God. God is right here, right in front of us. Devotees, Hanumanji firstly bowed to their feet. They didn't know who they were. In Ram Leela, of course. He bowed to their feet. Who are you two, he says. One dark and the other fair. You look like Kshatris, like warriors. Why? What are you doing in this forest? Devotees, Hanumanji was engulfed with divinity and knowledge, but he practiced something that most people in this world today have very little of, and that is humility. When I give an analogy of humility, most of us, we travel on airplanes, some of us travel weekly on airplanes, And if you're overweight, what happens? What happens at the check-in counter?
Charge more.
You charge you more. Big trouble, right? So this thing called abhiman is like excess baggage. It holds you back. It prevents you from having a safe journey, worry-free, trouble-free. So my advice to devotees is this, to everyone, including myself. Leave the abhiman home. Don't pack that with you. Don't take it. Leave it home. Leave it right here in this plant, because we don't want to come back here. We were having a discussion today, Uncle Ji. I don't want to come back here. Leave the baggage home. Hanumanji approaches Bhagwan now. Total selflessness. Devotees, he performed every single task in the name of Rama. Never sought fame or fortune, right? Never sought fame or fortune, and never sought recognition, and was never looking for a pat on the back. Rama said, good boy, Hanumanji. Never. Devotees. He performed every single word, action, and deed, and every single breath. Like we said, Soham this evening, his was, Hey Ram. Hey Ram. That was his formula. Remember Narad Muni, what was his formula? Narayan. Every single, how can you go wrong? How can you go wrong, devotees? There was never a price. There was never a cost, a reward, a token for his work, because it was always in the name of Ram. Say after me, Jai Shri Ram. One more time, Jai Shri Ram. In the name of Hanumanji now, let us glorify him. This bhajan, by the way, was sponsored by Ramayan Ji and family. We thank you very much. Prem se bolo Pavan Putra Hanuman ki jai. Bol Bajrang Bali ki, Pavan Putra Hanuman ki jai. Are bole Hanuman, bolo bhakto Siya Ram. Shri Ram ke charanon mein bande bigre kaam. Bole Hanuman, bolo bhakto Siya Ram. Shri Ram ke charanon mein bande bigre kaam. Bole Hanuman, bolo bhakto Siya Ram. उसकी शोभा है विष्णु में, उसकी शोभा है मोहन सी, उसकी शोभा है विष्णु में, उसकी शोभा है मोहन सी। तुलसी ने जब शीश झुकाया, धनुष बनी कान्हा की बंसी। राम हिमाय राम जाने कण कण में श्री राम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्त सिया राम। श्री राम के चरणों में बंदे बिगड़े काम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्त सिया राम। लिपट लिपट के राम चरण में, आंखों में गंगा जल भर ले। लिपट लिपट के राम चरण में, आंखों में गंगा जल भर ले। श्री राम तो क्षमाशील है, पापों को स्वीकार तो कर ले। श्री राम के चरण कमल के जैसे तुलसी राम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्त सिया राम। श्री राम के चरणों में बंदे बिगड़े काम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्त सिया राम। श्री राम के चरणों में बंदे बिगड़े काम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्त सिया राम। बोल बजरंग बली की, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की, महावीर स्वामी की। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्त सिया राम। श्री राम के चरणों में बंदे बिगड़े काम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्त सिया राम। श्री राम के चरणों में बंदे बिगड़े काम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्त सिया राम। प्रेम से बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। बजरंग बली। So we have a little dilemma right now, because we have quite a few bhajans that were requested. So what I will do, with your permission, is to shorten the kathaa just a little bit, and then we'll go into the bhajans. As Hanumanji approached Lord Rama and Lakshmanji, and he questioned him, who they were, Lord Rama then spoke and said whom they were. Hanumanji became very excited, and he bowed over and over and said, his chief, Sugriv, is on the peak. Come, sit on my shoulders and I will take you to him. Devotees, when Lord Rama and Lakshman sat on the shoulders of Hanumanji, Hanumanji felt as though all of his sin, whatever little sin he had probably committed in his life, were removed. This is the power of the Lord. And they met with Sugriv, and the aim of the meeting now was established. And that aim was to find Mother Sita. The sacred fire was lit, and the fire is the witness. Now, we perform Havan. Panditji will tell you we perform Havan during Puja. Why do we perform Havan? What is the significance of Agni? Agni Dev is present in Pujas. When we perform funerals, we perform wedding, any sort of sanskars, Agni Dev is present. And Agni is the witness. Agni in this case, the fire, was the witness. And in the olden days, when there were panchayats and so forth in the villages back home, the fire was always lit. My guru used to tell me this. The fire was lit as a witness. Because back in those days, there were no notary publics and all these fellows to notarize documents and all that. The fire, your word, prana jaye par vachana na jaye. Your word meant your life. And this is how our ancestors lived, devotees. Here, that bond now was created by Sugriv, Lord Rama, Hanumanji and Lakshman. And in our scriptures, fire is one of the 5 elements and the composition of the body and this cosmos. Ram, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughan were born from the principle of fire. Remember, King Dashrath performed what called a Putra Kameshti Yagya, and that kheer appeared from the fire. And that was the payasam, as it's called, that Lord Rama and his brothers were born from. Hanumanji burnt the entire city of Lanka with fire. So, this is the importance of fire tonight. And Rama now began to speak to Lakshman. He says, listen to Hanumanji, listen to his speech. His Sanskrit is grammatical. His intonation and pronunciation are supreme, par excellence. And his mannerisms and conduct look to be highly civilized, even though he's a Vanar. Now, many people will say, I've actually scolded some people on this already. Panditji, you all worship monkeys. Was Hanumanji really a monkey? If you look in the Webster's dictionary, the definition of a monkey is what? An animal that moves chanchal, sort of a crazy way in the forest and strings on the branches from his tail. Hanumanji ever swung from a branch of his tail? Ashta Siddhi Navanidhi Ke Raja. I beg you, don't ever refer to our Lord as a monkey. He's a Banar. A Banar is a celestial being, the 11th incarnation of Lord Shiva. And when Sugriv was installed as the king of Kishkinda now, he began to enjoy all the pleasures of his senses. When people are getting to power, especially politicians, I'm not condemning or criticizing anyone, but when politicians become powerful, they start to lean towards their senses in most cases. And they try to please their senses, their greed and so forth, and they forget about their citizens, their civilians. Devotees, Sugriv now had forgotten his promise, as the kathaa continues, to help to find Mother Sita. And then Hanumanji scolded him, and he says, recognize the 4 methods of persuasion. I will close with this statement tonight. He says, the first one, samam. Sama, argument or explanation. The second, dana, inducement or giving of gifts. The third, bheda, sowing of seeds of desertion. And the fourth one, danda. Danda means using of force. And Hanumanji then he said to Sugriv, apart from your moral obligations towards a friend or an ally, you owed your life and the grace to the grace of Shri Ram. How could you win? How could one win over Angad without the blessings of Shri Ram? Angad was the son of Brahma, devotees. Then Sugriv now woke up, the son of Bali. Then Sugriv then woke up and he came to his senses and he called all his armies, the 4 divisions of his armies. And in our final chaupai this evening, let us see what Goswami Tulsidas Ji writes. Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Janak Sudha kaha ho jahu jai, मास दिवास माह आए हो भाई हो। श्री राम जय रामा, जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय रामा. Devotees, Sugriv spoke to the army and he says, I exhort and commission you to do Shri Ram's work now. And I want you to go to the 4 directions, Uttar, Purava, Paschim, Uttar, Dakshin, East, West, North and South, and institute an immediate search for Mother Sita. Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Avadhi mein tijo Sudhi Paya, Avadhi mein tijo binu Sudhi Paya, Avani panahi so mohi maraya Rama, mohi maraya Rama, mohi maraya. Praise the Lord, Jai Shri Ram. Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Prem se bolo Bhagwan Ramachandra ki Jai. Brothers and sisters, we'll pause our kathaa here tonight to accommodate all of the beautiful bhajans that have been requested. And let me just give you the synopsis of the kathaa as I close. The sacred and fragrant articles that are offered, the precious gems that are placed in the sacrificial fire, are symbolic of the offerings which man should make in life. I quote from tonight from Bhagwan Shri Sai Baba. He should offer a pure heart, good qualities such as Satya, Dharma, Prema and Shanti, truth, virtue, peace and love to the divine. The real spirit of giving to society like we are giving tonight, and the community of wealth, knowledge and skills is one possesses in true yajna. The gopis of Gokula, simple and sincere, sought Krishna within or behind every single bush, every single tree, every single flower garden. They were looking for him, for he fascinated them. But he always kept very far. He always kept giving them a hard time to find him. And this is only another way of describing the search of God that we know to be within us, but eludes our efforts to sink into that sweetness. Bhagwan Shri Krishna devotees is hiding in the recesses of your heart. We spoke about that lotus flower in the heart last night. Devotees, we have to trace him, find him, and hold on to him. Do not let him go. The minute he sits in our heart, keep him there. He runs away, but he leaves footprints marked by the spilled milk on which he has trodden in a hurry to go beyond our search. Whether called by Shri Krishna, the gopis adored the Lord, whether Shri Rama's Devanas adored the Lord, or as we all adore the form of the divine that we feel close to. The lesson is, recognize his footprints in everything of beauty, in every act of goodness, and in every tear of gratitude, in every sign of compassion, and discover him in the bowels of our heart, filled with the fragrance of love and light and virtue. Quoting tonight Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Prem se bol Maryada Purushottam Bhagwan Ramachandra ki Jai. This bhajan was sponsored by Leena ji and children and grandchildren and it is dedicated to Vasudevji. This beautiful bhajan, it says, we have never seen the face of God, O Ma. But what need is there to behold that face? In that no way it will be different from yours. Not only ordinary human beings, but also great personalities who are funneled in your Anchal. Anchal is a godi, relax. Heaven and earth is found in your feet, Mother. What other being can reflect on Mother's love in the eye? उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी, पर उसकी जरूरत क्या होगी? ऐ माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान की सूरत क्या होगी? क्या होगी? उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी, पर उसकी जरूरत क्या होगी? ऐ माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान की मूरत क्या होगी? क्या होगी? उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी. इंसान तो क्या देवता भी आंचल में पले तेरे, है स्वर्ग इसी दुनिया में कदमों के तले तेरे. ममता ही लुटाए जिसके नयन, ममता ही लुटाए जिसके नयन, ऐसी कोई मूरत क्या होगी? ऐ माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान की सूरत क्या होगी? क्या होगी? उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी. धूप जलाए दुखों की, क्यों हम की घटा बरसे, ये हाथ दुआओं वाले रहती है सदा पर से. तू है तो अंधेरे पथ में हमें, तू है तो अंधेरे पथ में हमें, सूरज की जरूरत क्या होगी? ऐ माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान की मूरत क्या होगी? क्या होगी? उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी. प्रेम से भगवान रामचंद्र की जय. So to keep the momentum flowing, I'm going to ask you to do something a little bit different. After each of the bhajans, I want you to clap. Not clapping for me, clapping for yourselves and for the musicians as well, because they're making a beautiful effort. So, very good. So just bear with me. Do you want to do a couple of promotions while we keep the bhajans? Okay, all right, no problem. So don't forget, we have the Shanka program that is in place, and also the bhajans. We are making donations. Those of you online as well, we have quite a few of you online. Thank you very much for joining this evening on the Shivoham, my Shivoham Parivar, and the virtual Yagshala that we have established since the start of this pandemic. And the devotees from all over the world are tuned in tonight with us here live at Shri, Radha Krishna Mandir in Cambridge, Ontario. This next bhajan I would like to dedicate to, let's see. This was sponsored by Didi Shobha Arjunji, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Composition of Goswami Tulsidas Ji again. It says, to sing your name, O Lord, O glorious Father, is to eradicate all the sorrows and the fear of life. Let my mind worship merciful Shri Ram, your handsome features like newly open red lotus flower. Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ramchandra Kripalu Bhajman Haran Bhav Bhedarunam. Shri Ramchandra Kripalu Bhajman Haran Bhav Bhedarunam. Navakanjalochan Kanja Mukha Kar Kanja Pad Kanjarunam. Shri Ram, Shri Ram. Kandar Paganita Vita Chavi Navanila Niraj Sundaram Patpita Manahu Tarita Ruchi Suji Naumi Janaka Sudavaram. Shri Ram, Shri Ram. Bhaj Dina Bandhu Dinesh Danav Daitya Vancha Nikandanam. Raghunanda Ananda Kanda Kaushal Chandra Dasharatha Nandanam. Shri Ramchandra Kripalu Bhajman Haran Bhav Bhedarunam. Shri Ram, Shri Ram. Sir Mukut Kundal Tilak Charu Udar Ang Vibhushanam. Ajan Bhuj Sar Chap Dhar Sangram Jit Khar Dushanam. Shri Ramchandra Kripalu Bhajman Haran Bhav Bhedarunam. Navakanjalochan Kanja Mukha Par Kanja Pad Kanjarunam. Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram. Prem se bol Maryada Purushottam Bhagwan Ramachandra ki jai. Thank you for your wondrous applause. Let's see, we continue. This is, now this request is coming from Nitish. Om Namah Shivaya. Praise Bolo Mahapati Mahadeva ki jai. Karpur Gauram Karunavatar संसार सारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। जय शिव शंकर, जय शिव शंकर, शिव शंकर शंभो। The lyrics of the late Dadaji, Pandit Padma Shri Hari Om Sharan Ji. Dum 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 dum, dum 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 डमरू बजाए शिव शंकर कैलाशपति, युग युग सोया जीव जगाए शिव शंकर कैलाशपति। बोलो दम 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 डमरू बजाए शिव शंकर कैलाशपति, युग युग सोया जीव जगाए शिव शंकर। प्रेम से बोलो एवरीबॉडी, हरि ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, हर 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 ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। माथे ऊपर तिलक चंद्रमा, पहरे नाग की माला। माथे ऊपर तिलक चंद्रमा, पहरे नाग की माला। डमरू की दर्दन पे नाचे श्री रखवाला। निज भक्तन के कष्ट मिटाए शिव शंकर कैलाशपति, युग युग सोया जीव जगाए शिव शंकर। हरि बोल, हरि ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, हर 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 ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। जटाजूट से झरती गंगा, भव के ताप मिटाती। जटाजूट से झरती गंगा, भव के ताप मिटाती। भारती और प्यासे जीवों की मैया प्यास बुझाती। भारती और प्यासे जीवों की मैया प्यास बुझाती। निज कृपा जग से बरसाए शिव शंकर कैलाशपति, युग युग सोया जीव जगाए शिव शंकर। प्रेम से बोलो एवरीबॉडी, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, हरि ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, हरि ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, हरि ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, हरि ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम शिवाय रुद्राय नमः, शिवाय रुद्राय नमः, शिवाय रुद्राय नमः। Hari Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, bolo Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, bolo Om Namah Shivaya. Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadev ki Jai. Jai Shiva Shankar. Many years ago, actually in his final year, Dadaji came to my home, in Florida. We were accompanying him on a concert, and it broke my heart in his final days. This great soul who gave so much to mankind. He was blind, but his voice, even today, resonates. As a matter of fact, those of us from the Caribbean, Dadaji, Pandit Hariom Sharanji, I believe gave us the first recitation in music of Shri Hanumanji Chalisa many years ago. And today, that tune is symbolic with him whenever we chant it. I think we have done most of these bhajans. I believe there's one more here. There are a couple more, but I believe we may not have time for all. But the ones that we don't get to tonight, guess what? Come back tomorrow morning, we'll finish them. Alright? We got more? Alright. So you definitely will come back tomorrow morning. This next bhajan is dedicated. Let me see if I will find it here firstly. Bhai Prakash, are you here? Where is he? Hiding in the back. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
This is his request. That's good. One of Muhammad Rafi's classical bhajans, speaking about the love of Radharani and Bhagwan Shri Krishna. I hope you all enjoy this one. Vasudevasutam devam Kansachanur mardanam Devaki paramanandam Krishnam vande Jagagurum राधिके तूने बंसेरी चुराई राधिके तूने बंसेरी चुराई बंसेरी चुराई क्या तेरे मन आई बंसेरी चुराई क्या तेरे मन आई काहे को रात मचाए मचाए राधिके तूने बंसेरी चुराई राधिके तूने बंसेरी चुराई दे दूंगी कहे हंसने खाए दे दूंगी कहे हंसने खाए कहाँ छुपाऊं पर न बताई कहाँ छुपाऊं पर न बताई नटखट दर्द निहाय निहाय राधिके तूने बंसेरी चुराई राधिके तूने बंसेरी चुराई ना तेरी बैरण ना तेरी सौतन सौतन ना तेरी बैरण ना तेरी सौतन मेरी मुरलिया मोहे सब कारण मेरी मुरलिया मोहे सब कारण महबद मन निहारे निहारे रे राधी ने तूने बंसेरी चुराई राधी ने तूने बंसेरी चुराई बंसेरी चुराई क्या तेरे मन लाई बंसेरी चुराई क्या तेरे मन लाई आहे को राग मचाए मचाए राधी के तूने बंसेरी चुराई राधी के तूने बंसेरी चुराई राधी के तूने बंसेरी चुराई बांके वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. So I'd like you to put an extra hand now for tabla player Subhash ji. Wonderful indeed. Are you guys enjoying the bhajan selection so far? Lovely, lovely. Well, keep sponsoring. I will be here all night, no problem. Yes, okay. So we'll try to get all the bhajans in. Let's see. This bhajan is being dedicated now. It's from the grandchildren of Om and Betty Maharaj, and they would like to send their love and seek your blessings. Oh, I'm sorry. That will be D major. This bhajan O Ram, take me under your wings, your guidance, your protection. If you have no time to look or even think of me, let me have a place at least at your feet. मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम. लोचन मन में जगे न हो तो, लोचन मन में जगे न हो तो, जुगल चरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम. जीवन देखे जाल बिछाया, रच के माया नाचन छाया. चिंता मेरी तभी मिटेगी, चिंता मेरी तभी मिटेगी, जब चिंतन में ले लो राम, ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम. लाखों पापी तारे मेरे बाड़ी बाजी हारे. मेरे पास न पुण्य की पूंजी, मेरे पास न पुण्य की पूंजी, पद पूजन में ले लो राम, ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम। राम हे राम, राम हे राम। घर घर अत को, घर घर भत को, कहाँ कहाँ अपना सरबत को। इस जीवन में मिलो ना तुमको राम हे राम। इस जीवन में मिलो ना तुमको, मुझे मरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम। मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम। मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम। प्रेम से बोलो राजा रामचंद्र की जय। Please bear with me as the bhajans are coming sporadically, so we have to search for the lyrics. It's almost there. Oh, the support of this universe, Maryada Purushottam Shri Ramchandra Ji, bestow bliss and put an end to this birth and death. Salutations to you, the Lord of Lakshmi, the teacher, the bestower of nectar of life, auspicious God without attributes, Father and protector of the universe. Salutations to thee. Shri Ramchandra Ashrit Parijatah Samasta Kalyan Gunavyamam Sita Mukham Guru Chancharirah Niratam Mangala Matano. This version, by the way, it says Shri Narayan Tiwari in Ottawa from his entire family circle. This dedication is for you. Jai Raghunandan Jai Siya Ram, Jai Raghunandan Jai Siya Ram. He dukh bhanjan tumhe pranam, he dukh bhanjan tumhe pranam. Jai Raghunandan Jai. Come on, devotees, say it with me. Jai Raghunandan Jai Siya Ram. बात बात को हे परमेश्वर स्नेह तुम्ही सिखलावे। बात बात को हे परमेश्वर स्नेह तुम्ही सिखलावे। नर नारी की प्रेम की ज्योति जग में तुम्हें जला दे। ओ नैया की हे वनहारे, ओ नैया की हे वनहारे, जपो में तुम रोना। जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम। प्रेम से बोलो राजा रामचंद्र की जय। Hanumanji, sorry about that. We're cutting the verses. Get all the bhajans in. Thank you very much. we continue. We just have about 2 more to go. I hope you will bear with me. Oh, here comes more. So I'm going to combine 2 of the dedications here, and we are going to dedicate this next song, this bhajan, to, let's see, Savi and children, grandchildren. Looks like Hemchandra Dev, Prasad, and Sita Jibo, Indira Mohan, Mukesh, and TJ in memory of the departed mom. And this is a beautiful chat now. I'd like to ask all of you to clap your hands and to sing. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. You know, the gopis in Vrindavan, they were famous for Ras. What is Ras? The dance of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. So please, yes Ashley, feel free to come forward and dance to what we're celebrating tonight. Whoa! Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Banmali Murli Dhari, Govardhan Girivardhari. Banmali Murli Dhari, Govardhan Girivardhari. Nit nit kar makhan chori, gopi manhari. Oh, nit nit kar makhan chori, gopi manhari. Hey aavo re, gokul ke pyare. Aavo re, gokul ke pyare. आओ रे नाचो रे रास रचाओ ऐसे आओ रे नाचो रे रास रचाओ हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि केशव हरि गोविंदा हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि केशव हरि गोविंदा हरि नारायण हरि ओम बनमाली मुरली धारी गोवर्धन गिरिवरधारी बनमाली मुरली धारी गोवर्धन गिरिवरधारी नित नित कर माखन चोरी गोपी मनहारी हो नित नित कर माखन चोरी गोपी मनहारी हे आवो रे गावो रे गोकुल के प्यारे आवो रे गोकुल के प्यारे आवो रे नाचो रे दास रचाओ रे आवो रे नाचो रे दास रचाओ हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा नारायण हरि ओम हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा नारायण हरि ओम हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा नारायण हरि ओम हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि नारायण हरि ओम प्रेम से बाबा के वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय राधे राधे I'm sure you feel the power and the energy. Maybe sometime in the near future we'll come back and we'll do a night of bhajans, Ankuji. And bhajans and dance. How about that? I just want to make sure we cover all of the requests that are here. So we have one more request here. It says here beautiful Krishna bhajan, and this is from Jean Prasad, and it's going to all her Sakhi sisters. So there's a beautiful bhajan, you know, when the gopis were playing on the fields, the gardens of beautiful Vrindavan. Bhagwan Shri Krishna blows his vasuri. And that mystical sound of the basuri emanates. As it emanates, it cleanses the minds of all the devotees. I mean, as he blows that mystical air through the basuri, it's like a hollow body, you know. The 7 chakras in the body, 7 musical notes, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, and sa, of course, repeated twice. They all represent and respond to each of the chakras in this body, from the Muladhara chakra all the way up to the Shahasrara chakra. Govind Ghanshyam, as he blows his basuri, it says, Radhe Govind Gopala. Rohini ji, this is for you as well. Jai Jai Govind Radhe Gopala. O Radhe Govind Gopala. Jai Jai Govind Radhe Gopala. Come on, devotees. O Radhe Govind Gopala. Jai Jai Govind Radhe Gopala. O Radhe Govind Gopala. Jai Jai Govind Radhe Gopala. Govind Govind Gopala. Govind Govind Gopala. Govind Govind Gopala. Govind Govind Gopala. O Radhe Govind Govind Gopala. O Radhe Govind Govind Gopala. O Radhe Radhe Govind Gopala. Jai Jai Govind Radhe Gopala. O Radhe Govind Gopala. Jai Jai Govind Radhe Gopala. Krishna Madhusudana. Madhusudana Krishna. Krishna Madhusudana. Madhusudana Krishna. O Shama Govind Govind Gopal. O Shama Govind Govind. Jira Re. Radhe Govind Gopala. Jai Jai Govind Radhe Gopala. O Radhe Govind Gopala. Jai Jai Govind Radhe Gopala. O Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Govinda Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. O Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Govinda Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Oh Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Oh Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Oh Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Oh Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Oh Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Oh Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Oh Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Prem se Baba ke Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Radhe Radhe. So we are looking forward to you all coming out tomorrow morning. So I promise you we won't go any further. It looks like I think we have covered all of the requests, Ankuji, so far. And please allow me to do one final bhajan. One that is very near and dear to me. One of my favorite singers of all times was the late great Mukesh Chandra Mathur. And growing up in Trinidad, this bhajan, we were taught this bhajan in primary school, elementary school. There's no need to take another name or protection when Shri Ram dwells within our hearts. Some may ask for gold and silver, and even the impossible. And some may distribute gifts of various kinds without any attachments. Some may sit at home and meditate in some praying temples. Some may take holy baths in the Ganga and the Yamuna. Others go to great places of pilgrimage. But whoever takes care of their parents, children, as taught by Shri, has done the greatest act in this world. This bhajan, very dear to me tonight, the voice of the late great and great Chandramati. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva tvameva bandhushcha sakha tvameva tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव जिनके हृदय श्री राम बसे उन और उनको नाम न लियो जिन के हृदय श्री राम बसे और उनको नाम न लियो जिन के हृदय श्री राम। कोई मांगे कंचन सिखाया, कोई मांग रहा प्रभु से माया। कोई मांगे कंचन सिखाया, कोई मांग रहा प्रभु से माया। कोई करे कोई दान करे, कोई दान करो सो बहाना करे। जिन कन्या धन को दान दियो, जिन कन्या धन को दान दियो, उन और उनको दान दियो जिन के हृदय श्री राम बसे। और उनको नाम न दियो जिन के हृदय श्री राम। कोई घर में बैठा नमन करे, कोई हरि मंदिर में भजन करे। कोई घर में बैठा नमन करे, कोई हरि मंदिर में भजन करे। कोई गंगा जमुना स्नान करे, कोई काशी जाके ध्यान धरे। जिन मात पिता की सेवा की, जिन मात पिता की सेवा की, उन तीर्थ स्नान कियो जिन के हृदय श्री राम बसे। और उनको नाम न लियो जिन के हृदय श्री राम। प्रेम से बोलो भगवान रामचंद्र की जय। I believe we have covered all the bhajans, Hanumanji. I thank you all. Sorry? We'll do the rest tomorrow, yes. Thank you very much. Devotees, give yourselves a lovely round of applause. Come on tonight, all of you tonight, for participating and being part of this beautiful evening of devotion. I thank you all for coming from near and far and joining us tonight. And of course, tomorrow morning from 10 to 12, we shall conclude this beautiful yagya. I look forward to seeing you back here and of course back in this area on many more occasions to come. Now I'll hand over to, before we do that, let's just close off our Ramayan Kathaa Visarjana Hotu Hai. Please join and sing with me. Kathaa Visarjana Hotu Hai, Suno Veer Hanuman, Rama Lakshman Janaki, Sada Karo Kalyan. एक घड़िया दो घड़ी हारो में कुनियार, तुलसी संकट सार के कटे गोते अपरार। ओ जो जन जहाँ से आए हो, जो जन जहाँ से आए हो, कथा सुनो मन लाए, अपने अपने धाम को विदा होत हर्षाय। श्रोता सब आसम गए, शंभु गए कैलाश, रामायण मम हृदय महान आन करो तुम पास। राम राम कहे राम कहे, राम राम कहे राम, राम राम कहे राम कहे, राम राम कहे राम। प्रेम से बोल मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम भगवान रामचंद्र की जय। श्री राम। कोटि कोटि धन्यवाद। Thank you very much, devotees. I look forward. Koटि धन्यवाद. Thank you. Look forward to you blessing us with your presence again tomorrow morning for the final session. And I'll hand over now to Uncle Ji to take us to the last few minutes of tonight's satsang.
Yes, Maharaj ki
Jai.
Yes, Maharaj ki Jai. So yes, definitely we there's a few bhajans missing, but I'm sure that we'll make up tomorrow. That'll give them incentive to come back tomorrow, Pandaji. I know that there's lots of you out there wondering what it costs to do bhajan, but I think we cannot repay Panditji for what he's done for us tonight. So please give him a very, very big round of applause. Even if we didn't make money, we at least had the chance to sing the name and be in the presence of good company and listening. And of course, like he said, we expected Harold to be here and Sachin to be here, but Subhash showed up and Sabrina showed up. So give them both a round of applause, please. So a couple of quick announcements. So tomorrow morning we start at 10 o'clock, finish at 12. And again, we want to thank Panditji because he actually made this possible. He heard that we didn't have the program at Pandit Narad and offered himself. He was going to be in town and he's available and he's here, and we were very lucky to have him here. So next Sunday, if you're interested, we're having a golf tournament with Ramayan Yagya. It's at the Eagle Ridge Golf Course in Georgetown. It's $150 per person. It includes lunch and dinner and the game as well as a cart. We hope to have prizes for everybody who participates. So Sandy, there's still a chance for you to come and golf. July 13th is Guru Purnima. We're having a special program with Pandit Ridra. Pandit Ridra doesn't get a lot of credit. We should give him a round of applause. He's been here. He did the pujas, he did everything for us, make sure we're ready. Actually, he was ready before we were, and thank you. So the next program we're going to have is the holy month of Shravan. Shravan starts on July 14th actually, but the first Monday is July 18th, and the 14th, and from then on every day, Panditji will be doing puja at the temple. If you'd like to sponsor it, you'll be able to set that up online. Or you can see one of the executives at 9:30 in the morning, again at 5:30. These are private pujas, they will not be interfered with anybody. At 9:30 and at 5:30. On the Mondays, we're going to do pujas also at 9:30 and 5:30. But at 7 o'clock on Monday nights, it will be public and everybody's asked to come and participate. So those Mondays are July 18th, July 25th, August 1st, and August 8th. In between that, we're going to have a camp for the children, and camp would either be July 25th to July 29th or August 2nd to the 5th. Regardless, when we have that camp, we're also going to arrange some Rudra Havan for those Shiva devotees who would like to sit and do Havan under the tent. We're hoping to have that set up, and we may have that on 2 Saturdays, 2 consecutive Saturdays, and Paniji will let you know more about that as we set that up and see how many people are interested. Lots of other activities coming up in August, including a Ramayan Yagya being read by Pandit Bodh Sharma here at the temple from August 12th, 13th, and 14th. We have Janmashtami on the 18th, Radha Ashtami on September 3rd. Tulsidas Jayanti is also on the 4th, and we will be celebrating that as well. Our picnic is on August 7th at Sopers Park, and that starts at 1 o'clock after service. So I said enough. Let's stand for Aarti, and thank you for being here. Jai Sitaram.
आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की। दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की, दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की। बड़कावे रोग दोष जगे निकट न जागे, अंजनी पुत्र महाबलदाई, संतन के प्रभु सदा सहाई, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की। देवीरा रघुनाथ पठाई, लंका जारी सिय सुधेलाई, लंका से कोट समुद्र सिखाई, जाट पवन सुत बार न लाई, लंका जारी असुर दल मारे, सिया राम जी के राज सवारे, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की। लक्ष्मण मूर्छित पड़े सकारे, आनि संजीवन प्राण वारे, पैठी पताल तोड़ी जमकारे, अहि रावण की भुजा उठारे, भाए भुजा
बल मारे, दहिनी भुजा संत जन तारे। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की। सुर नर मुनि आरती उतारी, जय 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 हनुमान उचारी। कंचन थार कपूर लो छाई, आरती करत अंजना माई। जो हनुमान जी की आरती गावे, बसी वैकुंठ परम पद पावे। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की। दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, आरती की जय हनुमान लला की।
अभिवंदनम् नमो भगवते श्रीरामचन्द्राय नमः। आराधिक्यं समर्पयामि सर्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यो नमः। आवाहित देवताभ्यो नमो नमः। मंत्रपुष्पाञ्जलिम्। ॐ यज्ञेन यज्ञमय दन्तदेवास्तानि धर्माणि प्रथमान्यसन्नः। हेहनाकं महिमानः सचन्तयत्र पूर्वेशाभ्याः सन्ति देवाः। सेवन्तिकावकुलचं पगपाटलाब्जे पुण्यगजाति करवीररसालपुष्पै। बिल्वप्रवाल तुलसीदलमञ्जरी पुष्पाञ्जलिं जगदीश्वर। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव विदुषसखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविडं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव। मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दन, यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णतदस्तु मे। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय। ओम यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मान्तरकृतानि च, तानि सर्वाणि नश्यन्तु प्रदक्षिणां पदे पदे। मंत्रपुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः, गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम द्योः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः, पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः, शान्तिः वनस्पतयः, शान्ति विश्वे देवाः, शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्तिः, सर्वगुण शान्तिः, शान्तिरेव शान्तिः, श्यामा शान्तिरेधि। ओम यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो भयं कुरु सन्नः। गुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयं नः, पशुभ्यः सुशान्तिर्भवतु, सुशान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वारिष्टा शान्तिर्भवन्तु। बोलिए श्री गणपति महाराज की जय, श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय, श्री उमा महेश्वर भगवान की जय, श्री सरस्वती मैया की जय, श्री राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय, श्री पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री व्यास जी महाराज की जय, श्री काशी विश्वनाथ भगवान की जय। धर्म की अधर्म का प्राणियों में सद्भाव, विश्व का कल्याण, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे श्याम। नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर